Welcome everybody, it's Rose Smith here from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks for joining me. I'm doing the Courageous Capricorn November horoscope, and there's a lot happening with a lot of planets going into Sagittarius this month, so hopefully that will give us all a sense of, a bit more confidence or a bit more optimism in life. We also have a lunar eclipse in Taurus, and for you, that is possibly going to affect or maybe cause a little bit of turbulence with your creativity, maybe romance and leisure and pleasure. Okay, so just briefly, what I like to do is draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for the month for you. And then I'll have a look at your horoscope in depth. Okay, if you're new, subscribe and be alive and hit that notification bell right now. Thank you very much. Let's go to the board and pick these 2 cards. Firstly, we'll see what they have to say. The first card can be the first half of the month if you like. Closing my eyes now. Oh, there you go. This one is another one that just keeps coming out. It's the Hermit card. It's time to spend some time on your own for inner reflection. Look at what's going on, your various thoughts and feelings about the world and your life. Okay, it's time to review and reassess everything. And you'll see here that this woman is carrying a light in her hand. You are the light of the world. You can shine your light brightly so that others can follow you. There's a wolf dog here for study, education, learning, and everybody here is on top of a mountain because it is a bit of a challenge, okay? Sometimes people don't like to be alone, but it doesn't mean just because you're alone doesn't mean that it's lonely. It can be, but not necessarily. And so, yeah, that's something to work on if you do feel lonely when you're alone. Okay, let's look at the second half of the month now. What do I see? Yeah, see, I'm still focused on this first card. The snow, the ice, the sense of loneliness that can go when you're in a sort of a better environment. I feel like too, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere and, you could have a stronger winter this year. Perhaps if it does snow there, sometimes you might find that you get a heavy snowfall. Okay, now the second card I'll get on to. Okay, I see some gravestones. This is something about maybe you're getting memories of the past coming back, something that's dead and buried. It's over, it's finished, but yet these intrusive memories can come back. Even though it is dead and buried. Just know it's not permanent, it's just passing, and note it. Yes, say thank you for the memory and let it go. You don't have to dwell on it anymore, it is finished. Okay, the card that comes up is the Ace of Pentacles. Well, this is very interesting because often we have to let go of something in order to bring something new. So you might just have those old memories of the past come up, you let go of them so that these new beginnings around your money or the things that you value, they can start. You might be a little bit confused or vague or uncertain about your direction in life, but Spirit is literally handing you a gift, and part of that could be an idea, like a new idea about how to make money. It's literally the seeds of a new beginning. You could go through some sort of initiation process and come out the other side, and you'll see there that there is blue sky on the other side. So a lot of growth through this initiation process. You might learn something and then think of a way to make money from it, for example. Okay, so there are your 2 cards. Focus on those, the Hermit and also the Ace of Pentacles. All right, now let's make this a bit bigger because I'm going to talk about your horoscope, Courageous Capricorns. Here it is here. And the first thing I want to start talking about is this red triangle, which is known as a T-square, between Venus, Saturn, and Uranus here. There's a fair bit going on with like here, Saturn and the Moon could create rumblings about your money, okay? So there could be some feeling of restriction about money, and how can you make more money, or how can you better utilise the money that you have. These are conjunct, but not for very long, because the moon travels very quickly, so it's only a few days. But out of it, you might get some brilliant idea, because they're both in Aquarius. You might get some brilliant idea about how to improve your financial situation, okay? That's making a square here to Venus with your friends. Maybe you want to go out and get about, entertain yourself, and especially here in the 5th house too, there's a lot going on about leisure and pleasure and entertainment, and there's also a lunar eclipse there shaking things up. So you might decide that you don't want to spend the money in going out with your friends because there's something else that you want to do with that money. But it is challenging, and it's also challenging for your creativity, and even romance. You know, you might feel somehow constrained in romance because, I don't know, these days when you go out, if you meet someone, what do you pay, 50-50? I don't know what happens. That's sort of like in my day, the guy always paid. That's just how it was back then. But yeah, maybe finances are an issue. Maybe he suggests going to a really expensive bar or restaurant or something, and you just don't have those hundreds of dollars to throw away. So you have to, weigh things up. Maybe make a picnic and go to a park or something instead. Okay. So something unusual or unpredictable could happen with your friends or connections, your creativity or romance. Initially, it could be some sort of challenge that brings up deep feelings because you feel restricted or limited in some way. You could also feel controlled, or a structure or an authority figure is telling you what to do with your money. It's amplified by the lunar eclipse here in your 5th house, which is actually conjunct the North Node. So this is like your destiny and your future is conjuncting with the lunar eclipse, which is very strong energy and very, impactful upon you. And there's Uranus, it's conjunct Uranus, but at some time, because the moon is so fast traveling, they will all be together. This can bring quite a shake-up, However, the planet Jupiter amplifies this as well on the 23rd when it actually turns direct, and there's a surge forward in your general communications and perhaps things that you study or in your local area. So you might find you're not going very far from home, but you are more active in your local area than usual. And Mercury going into Sagittarius bodes well for communications, about spirituality, also dreams and the like. And you could pick up spiritual messages now because you have a lot of planets here in your 12th house that I'll talk about in a moment. On the 8th, the lunar eclipse in Taurus, I just mentioned, but this, as well as affecting your creativity and your romance zone, it could also affect anything to do with children. So whether you have children or other people's children, or even your inner child, could be affected by this shake-up. So it could be quite turbulent, but out of it probably comes a long-lasting transformation here because it's in Taurus. So it's probably something that brings a transformation that will be quite solid and reliable. Maybe like a new creative project or something comes out of this, or you meet someone special. You could become more concrete or solid, making an important relationship decision. Think about this first, okay? So don't be impulsive, Capricorn, and you're not likely to, because that's not your nature. On the 9th sees Venus going into Sagittarius here, and Venus there and there. And so this brings a lovely sort of smooth flowing energy in your subconscious. You may dream about beautiful people or romance. and there's flashes of smooth flowing energy or beauty brought into your life. There could also, sometimes this indicates like a romantic desire for somebody who's not available. They might not be emotionally available or physically available. Maybe they're married to somebody else, but you might not know that. And it can also mean somebody, usually a close friend or family member, who needs you very much now. The 17th sees Mercury go into Sagittarius as well here. And the 23rd also sees a new moon in Sag here. So this is a bit sort of exciting because you might feel like exploring inner landscapes. Maybe you are feeling very inspired to create something, maybe artistically or musically. It could have consequences in, lots of areas of your life. And you could be more creative and happy, which sort of just spreads across your life generally. You could also receive a lot of insight and awareness with fresh new ideas and various communications. And the new moon brings physical new beginnings that can pay off quite well down the track. From the 14th to the 21st of November, Mars squares Neptune. Just watch during this time because sometimes it's a bit confusing. So there's clouds around here, and then when you're taking time out by yourself as well, all this stuff comes up when you start to focus on it initially, and it might seem a bit confusing, and you may not feel as strong as you normally do. It's time to be more gentle with yourself. Don't scatter your energy across tens of different projects. On the upside, your imagination can be quite fertile now. It could be running wild. You could have lots of fantasies and strange desires. Write them all down. You never know what might come out of it. The 28th to the 3rd of December, Mars trines Saturn, giving you excellent concentration. You become more serious about work. It doesn't matter whether it's paid work or not, what you normally term your normal day. Maybe you want to focus on real accomplishment now and avoid frivolity and distractions. But you can tackle difficult, disagreeable or frustrating work now because you have more patience and self-control and more self-discipline. So you're probably going to get positive results out of this in the long term. Then we have 29th of November to the 4th of December, Mars trining your MC. You can make your influence felt, and anything to do with your career or vocation, the work that makes your heart sing, whether it's paid or not, or your general life direction, is given a boost of energy. It's activated. You can advance your career or your long-range goals. You're likely to be very effective. Independent action, self-reliance, and taking more of a leadership role in life is also indicated, and you have the green light to move ahead. The 14th of November to the 29th of March 2023, Uranus squares Moon. Watch this because it can bring impatience or sudden outbursts of emotions. That's why it's important to write everything down, to take the edge off it. Go for a walk in the mornings for half an hour. So that takes the edge off it too. Because it's like you want freedom. You want to break free from uncomfortable situations. Sometimes you may feel a bit overwhelmed and you want to make changes, but you want to make them now. Sometimes it's more important to sort of plan these things out. And you can make changes. It doesn't mean that you're stuck in the current situation forever. Just be a bit smart about it, how you do it. Alrighty, dear Capricorn, that is it. That's your horoscope. A few challenges, but ultimately, always, especially like with squares, they work out to be beneficial in the long run if you work with the energy. And just try to control your emotions a little bit, and take note when you start to feel a bit irritated, rather than let it go and go and go, and then you get really super annoyed. Just when you feel a bit irritated, take note then, and then say something gentle to the other person if there's another person involved. Okay, so hope this is useful for you. Thank you for watching. If you're new, subscribe and be alive and hit that notification bell right now. Thank you very much. Have a fabulous month, everyone, and I will see you again really soon. Thanks and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.